Hey guys, thanks for joining. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tiffany. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and just a second. Sorry, I really needed that. So I'm here today to talk to you about the number one nutrient deficiency in Americans. Water. That's right. It is 100% water. So let's talk about water a little bit. Most of you probably know that 55 to 60% of your body is made up of water. But do you know exactly what all water does and the roles it plays? It does really critical things like actually moving other nutrients around in your body. It improves cell-to-cell communication, which does awesome things for your brain health for sure. And it also removes waste and toxins. I always think about when I was 14, 15 years old and I started getting little pimples popping up and my mom said, well, drink more water. We thought that was because it was flushing toxins, and it certainly does that, but it also helps improve your immune system, just keeping hydrated. So let's talk a little bit about what adequate hydration is. We're gonna do a little bit of math, very basic. We're gonna do a little bit of math. Let's say you're 150 pounds. Use your own weight in your head, but for this example, let's say you're 150 pounds. Divide that by 2, 75, right guys? Okay, so 75 fluid ounces is the daily minimum that a 150-pound person really needs. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, an alcohol drinker, and you enjoy your glass of wine or maybe some beer, you got to add that in. So let's say you're a coffee drinker, and let's say you're a light coffee drinker, and you're only drinking 8 fluid ounces every morning, and that's your morning coffee. Well, that's great, but because it's a diuretic, you need to add in 8 times 1.5 to get 12 fluid ounces. So on top of that 75, you need to add in another 12 to account for the coffee or the alcohol or whatever it is you're drinking. Make sure you take whatever those diuretics are, multiply them by 1.5, and then add that to your total. It is really important that you keep hydrated, and it is important that it's good, pure, clean water. The other thing that people struggle with is that they're chugging water and then peeing all the time, right? Let's be real here. How many times do you commit to drinking more water per day and you're getting up to pee? Well, that's when electrolytes come into play. So if you guys can see this, it's a little blurry, but it's just pink Himalayan salt. I add in a little bit to my water. It gives me the electrolytes I need. You need that mineral balance to make sure you're properly absorbing. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be chugging water all day. You want to be taking small sips throughout the day to make sure your body is getting that nice, slow, repetitive hydration. You also actually want to avoid water about 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after your meals to make sure your gastric juices and that pH is really high, to make sure your stomach is actually properly digesting. 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, avoid water. You don't have to completely avoid it. I want you to take sips of water if you're chewing and you really need a little extra something to help wash it down. But in general, you don't want to be taking huge drinks of water right before you eat. You want to keep that stomach acid alive to make sure you're properly digesting your food. So a little bit about water. I drink probably 3 of these a day. I've upgraded to a glass bottle. I've used a bunch of different bottles, and I at least for right now, this one is my favorite for sure. And then the other thing that I really wanted to talk about is the Berkey right here. This is my friend. You can use whatever water filtering system you want, but I'm very passionate about the Berkey. A lot of people like the whole home reverse osmosis systems. RO systems are great, but I like that I can actually take this with me. We can take it camping, we can take it wherever. There are 2 filters up in the top, and then actually in the bottom half, you'll see these white guys. Those are my fluoride filters, and they are phenomenal. So we fill this up a couple times a day, and it really is, we use it for drinking water, we use it for cooking, we use it for everything, and I have been known to take it on holiday vacations with us because it's just so convenient and travel friendly and just easy. So the quality of the water is also really important. One of the things that you want to look for if you're picking up bottled water is if you grab it, and think of some of those off-brand bottles that you can find. As soon as you grab that bottle and it goes crunch, 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 that's not a good sign. That's not a good plastic. So definitely opt for, if you're going to do bottled water, opt for something that's a little bit of a thicker plastic, and make sure you're not getting that crackling sound. What that crackling sound does is actually leach chemicals in there that can disrupt your endocrine system, which is your hormones and everything. So very important, bottled water, that you look for decent bottled water and not the crinkly stuff. So that's what I have to share about water today. Thank you for joining. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to drop me a comment below. Also, feel free to check out my website. Thanks for showing up today. I appreciate it. Stay hydrated, guys.